Hello, and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Oh, my quantum drive is going to take a long time to spool up. We're going to look at the moons of ArcCorp, Walla and Lyria. Walla is an interesting greyish moon. Well, we'll be there in a second. But it's got these weird sort of like aqua-coloured, teal-coloured rocks and gems. Bam! So the reason that my quantum drive was on a very low power is because when you are quantuming, when you're literally in quantum travel, your quantum engine will overheat. Quantum drive will overheat because of the new heat system quite quickly in a lot of ships. But once you're in quantum, you can just turn the power down because the power only seems to affect the spooling of the actual drive. So you turn the power down, and then your drive cools a lot quicker and easier and can go for longer. It's one of the interesting things. Now, we are at Walla now. There is a problem with the planetary generation in this one. There's lots of improvements, but there's also problems. You can see that seam there. There's lots of problems with chunks loading in of the moons and planets. You can see now it's loaded in now. When we go quantum drive jumping in a second, we may see some interesting bits and bobs as well. I turned the power down again, didn't I? Because I'm an idiot boy. Yes. Yes, you are. Yep. Yeah, I am. Turn it back up. I'm going to quantum jump over there. I'm going to see the moon in the daytime. I'll have a little landy poos. Improvements to quantum travel. Some of the effects. The procedure generation as well. See, from very long distance, moons do actually look better. They've got a bit more texture on them. There's less sort of like noticeable patches of generated blocks, because previously that'd be like generated in squares. So stuff does look a lot more natural, a lot more believable, and I really, really like it. But as I said, there are problems currently. We will go over to this area. Take us pretty close to the ground. And we can just land and have a look at the surface. Pretty similar all over the moon. Here you do get some different sizes of the like aqua gem deposits around. So with the new flight model, I'm affecting my velocity control by mouse wheel, and then use holding W to actually go at that speed. If I release W, it will start to drop down. I can press C to go into cruise control, in which case it will try and maintain that speed. Getting reasonably close to the surface. Now, you can't really see any of the sort of like bluish gems anywhere until you're very close, I find. Well, because they're not drawn in at all. Let's go to sort of like just over here. Here looks like a good place. Bam. Just see where it wants to take us. Am I in cruise control? No, I'm not. Oh. One of the things you'll find as well is that if you overly power down your velocity control, I just did there, there's no way of sort of like stopping yourself with your retro thrusters. I'm going to land just here and we'll look at some of these surface materials. I'm on a rock, aren't I? Go somewhere slightly flatter. Just over here. Perfect. Bam. Perfect. Press U to get out of seats now. Still in the old Vanguards here. They are getting updated though. It's not in 3.5. We're getting the same ramp that the Hoplite has. So we can see here, that basically it's very grey, pretty much like the Earth's moon. In fact, this is sort of what I'd expect to see on the Earth's moon. You can see purples diffused into the distance. That's mainly on sort of like higher mountains and things like that. But then we have this really interesting sort of like gemmy material, which is scattered around the surface in various outcrops. It sort of like is a gemmy ice block thing. I thought it's quite interesting. You can see it's sort of like textured on rocks as well. I think there's a problem with shadows and rocks that makes them look quite fluidy. See if that's actually the case. You see sort of like it looks a little fluidy. The way the textures sit on each other in certain angles don't sit appropriately. It like sort of like looks like they're hovering. There's certainly been a lot of improvements to the procedural tech, and it looks good, especially from the longer distances. But the closer ones, some of the textures they've used to sort of like well, bump mapping, whatever they use instead of bump mapping, just looks a bit odd in some of the textures and surfaces. But yeah, very pretty, very cool. It's very moon-like. You get some interesting little greens in there as well. But other than outposts on the surface, there isn't much going on here. Obviously, it's hooked up to the mission area and stuff like that as well. And we might see some interest. I haven't been to all the outposts on the moons yet, so there might be some cool ones that I have yet to see. There are certainly some named ones. Oh god. Oh god. Where? Well, that is a problem. But it is PTU. I'm not really sure what happened there. My ship seems to have disintegrated. But it's fine. We're on a pretty moon. We're only 30 kilometers away from the mining area. We are trying to get to Lyria. I've now turned up in a hammerhead. It's a long story, but I've run out of a load of my ships. I've had to go to the asteroid field and sort of like service station on the other side of ArcCorp to then go to ArcCorp to then get to Lyria, because there's not enough OM points or a direct way to Lyria in the current 3.5.0 patch. At least I haven't found one that works for me without exploding. I keep on ramming into the planet and that sort of stuff. So hopefully we'll get to ArcCorp here. As you can see it in the distance, there's a little dot. A bigger dot. Please don't go through the planet. We can see there's a burning ball of sun. Oh god. That's an interesting little buggy. That's all the lights. Pull the engine up. Right, we got this. We got this. Boom. Quantum travel. To Lyria. And we thought Walla was covered in blues and greys. Look, there's you can see lots of different patterns here. It looks like someone's taken a brush, a canvas, with blues, greens, or greys, blue greys, and purples. Very, very pretty looking. Let us quantum travel to a point that's not too far away. 500 kilometers. Are they all 500 kilometers-ish away? The pit might be a good shout. Let's go to the pit. So some of these places have got impressive names. Not sure if they're going to house and have interesting things in the future. Some of them are underground bunkers, others are just outposts. Some of them are going to be selling commodities as well. So I think the expectation is there might be some other places that are comparable to Jumptown in regards to what you can find there, what you can buy, money you can make from trading in that area. I believe the pit is just a little underground bunker like we've got on Hurston. Right, let us... Well, the HUD doesn't seem to be working particularly well on the Hammerhead at the moment, which is not ideal. Hopefully we won't just plough into the grounds. Might as well head towards the pit. So the fog on this planet, or this moon, really does help with popping and with the sort of like generation issues that we saw on Walla. We saw on Walla that it just wasn't loading in the sort of like chunks particularly well. Obviously that's something they'll probably fix in the PTU phase. But we can see there's a lot more texture, a lot more going on with each of the biomes now. And it's effectively just a single biome, admittedly, but there's a lot more going on these. Always recommended to have some velocity control. You need your velocity control to do things, whether it's move backwards or forwards or whatever. Using your retro thrusters seems to also be affected by it. So bear that in mind. Do a space break and stuff like that as well now. Make sure you don't have your cruise control on, especially when trying to land, otherwise you will edge forward when you adjust your control. Now I'm just going to let it go to 0. No. Oh no! Well, we're going to retreat slightly. Nah. I'm just going to land. It's okay, we just landed to say hello at the pit. And there seems to be a lot of anger at our decision to land. But the laser pistol... Oh, the turrets are still firing. That's fine. That's fine. So, we are on Lyria now. And Lyria sort of like has snow effect-ish going on. I mean, obviously it could be a lot better. Carry our gun. Not really weather at the moment. It's just literally a little effect to represent snow and it being cold. Obviously you can't breathe on here. It is very rocky, icy. There are various locations on the planet which can be arranged between bunkers like this one, which is attacking my ship. Good luck with that. It is a hammerhead with quite a big shield, and only one of them is hitting it. But there's also outposts here. There's going to be places where you can buy other commodities. The hope is that there will be some other competitive zones to sort of like Jumptown and that sort of stuff. Potentially some new commodities coming out. But we can see like ice puddles. The thing with the new procedural generation is that it allows for a lot more sort of like textures, materials, and the generation and placement of them on even a single biome. And basically, the moons here, Walla and Lyria, they are just a single biome with a load of cool little bits going on. Little placements of ice as well. And there are some little geysers, if we can find them, that will be spewing out smoke and snow, I suppose, as well. You see these little monoliths of ice around. Blues contrasted with whites and dark greys. Little like mini plateaus that have occurred. Run off a little bit into the distance. Gravity, it's not particularly high here. higher than Walla's. But it's not insane. And we can see sort of like areas of sand where your footprints like really, really stand out. Not so much sand as dust, but... Ah, there is a geyser. This is exactly what we want to look at. Lots of little ice outcrops. Pretty flat as a moon as well. Walla had a lot more sort of like height to it, whereas Lyria seems to not so much. You have like outcroppings of rocks jutting out like that one, though, admittedly. I'm not sure if either moon would be great for a rally or anything like that. Wally. You want to say it incorrectly. We found a selection of geysers here. At the moment, they're spewing out smoke. And it's supposed to be contributing to the snow and ice on the planet as well. So we can see like a snowy effect as well. In addition, the smoke sort of like blasting out. I like the cool little monoliths jutting out of the ground. I think that's pretty cool. I think it's going to be cool when you can have your outposts and land claims and be like, this is mine. But you do have to defend it still, admittedly. But that's not until a year or so into the future, at least. We've got a big outcropping here of them. And this is a significantly larger smoke and snow trail. Maybe the same sort of size snow spewing out, but a huge amount more smoke. That smoke effect is amazing. It's one of the things that I thought Star Citizen did really well, was the smoke effects. I'm not a massive fan of the particle trails in Quantum, but that smoke effect is so good, and I'm so looking forward to what they can do with water and gas giants and the gas cloud tech and things like that we're going to see in the future. Actually, that sort of like snowy liquid that's sort of spewing out looks pretty cool. This one just sort of like juts up occasionally, I think. Yeah, boom. I wonder how procedurally generated these were. Does it just so generate one of these monoliths? Because that's the same monolith as that one, isn't it? Yes. But that one hasn't got any smoke spewing out. So that's the sort of procedural tech in action and sort of like explained, I suppose, for you. It uses the same assets or a catalogue of assets and then positions them, changes them, edits them, can change the textures on them, change certain parts of them, can then add particle effects and emitters or whatever else they need. And the idea is that you shouldn't notice that those two are the same, but in this particular situation, they've been placed very close to each other. They merge into the terrain slightly differently. But we'll get more and more variants of this, and they might even have some new techniques in the future to, I know, carve bits out, maybe, of some of the assets for palatte generation. Maybe. But yeah. 2 beautiful moons. Interesting in their own right, but it's more just to add to the gameplay area. They're very basic. They are adding effectively new biomes and some new effects and some new styles, but they're pretty simple. Nothing super extraordinary with the moons, but it's good to have more gameplay area. Once we can do more on each of the moons, once there's some more unique missions and that sort of stuff, it will really sort of like add to the flavour of the game, having this massive gameplay area. But at the moment, it's sort of more of the same that you can just do on a different area. But Star Citizen PTU 3.5 G. Moons of ArcCorp, Lyria and Walla. Hope you enjoyed. Please take care, guys. Love you loads. We'll take a look at the flight model very, very soon. Probably as my next video. Yeah. Every month we have a ship giveaway. This month, by popular demand again, it's for an Anvil Carrack this time sponsored by Forgotten Heralds, a lawful private military company with a history grounded in UEE military service. They are recruiting at the moment and are a good choice for both veteran and new players alike. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning that character though is be subscribed to my YouTube channel and comment on any of my Star Citizen videos made during this month. Links to more info on Forgotten Heralds and full details of the giveaway down below. If you don't have a gaming PC yet or you are upgrading, instead consider Shadow Cloud Gaming. They allow you to leverage the powers of the internet to stream a high-spec Windows 10 environment to any other PC, Mac or device like a smartphone or tablet. It is working really well in Star Citizen's 3.4 branch, and be sure to use the code BoredGamer if you do decide to check it out to get a discount. Links below. This channel exists because of its community. If you wish to support the channel further, below there are links to Patreon, Subscribestar, and there's the YouTube channel memberships, literally the join button below this video. VIPs do get some exclusive stuff and early content as a thank you as well. If you have any feedback, suggestions, or just want to say hi, please drop a comment below or poke me on discord.gg/BoredGamer. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the verse.